the one world currency and you get the chip inside of you.
Like Mark of the Beast.
And what's going to happen is when they got, so that's headed towards that.
Right.
So the chip, it's to condition your mind. So it'd be like, oh, we've always been tapping. We've always been using cryptocurrency. We've always been, doing it this way. So when you get the chip, you ain't gonna think nothing of it because you won't be like, nah, they've always been doing it similar to this, right? So the chip, when they put it inside of you, is gonna be activated as your credit card. So long story short, now you could just, if they put it in your forehead or your wrist, now you could just slide your arm or slide your head, whatever they decide to put it in. And they're gonna say, oh, there's all these good things about it. And this is where they manipulate / trick you / deceive you. They're gonna say, you know why the chip is good? Because now no one could come up to you and just rob you and take your cash. You know why the chip is good? Because if you get kidnapped, I can find you and locate you with the chip. They're gonna tell you all these great things, but here's the part that they don't tell you. If you do not comply with the government, and you do not do what the government says, all they gotta do is simply turn that chip off. And now your credit card don't work, and now you can't even go to Carl's Jr. and get a cheeseburger. Now you can't even go get tacos or eat. And now, in order for that chip to be turned back on / activated, you gotta be under control and the mercy of the government and what they tell you to do to be able to even shop for food or whatever else is that you wanna get. And so all that is leading towards that, man. So I tell people you're soon enough gonna be backed up into having to make the decision of accept or don't accept. But when it comes down to it, and people always, and that's how they control you. And people always say, oh, they got you control on your phone. No, they don't. Because I could take this phone, I could throw it in a river, and you no longer got anything on me physically. But once they put that in you physically, now you're under control because that's your credit card, that's your currency, that's your money, that's your whole damn life right there.
Right.
And again, a lot of this is exposed. You guys can watch the documentary with your own eyes. And to go one step farther, respectfully, it's all in the Bible.
Right.
It's all in Revelations. It's right there in black print.
Right.
So all I'm saying is, but if you want to see some current, watch American Faces of Freedom. You'll get a wake-up call right there, and it shows you how and why this is happening, because this is all leading up to.
Shalom. First and foremost, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashum, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashum, Rakakodash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone who still rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, and safety unto the Lord's elect. Alright, scattered throughout the four corners of the planet Earth, mainly in America. Pushing his word in humility and sincerity as commanded by Yahweh Shai. And we just coming back to respond to this video here. I believe this guy's name is Noel, Guillermo, something like that. Which is really not important to me because he's not on the highways and byways pushing this truth, but somehow he came across the information of the Mark of the Beast being the RFID micro C hip, which it is, which the apostles have been teaching for decades. But these are the guys that the Lord is putting in the spotlight to bring out this information, and that's fine. I realize that that's fine because the Lord is not ready for us to be on the main stage yet. So he uses these different randoms to steal the prophet's words and to, noise it abroad. The Lord said that this gospel shall be preached. I'm going to get that. You got to preach that?
No.
You can go to Matthew 24, 14. This gospel shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, man. All right, and he looks like a so-called Mexican, an Issacharite, right? But I believe he's a motivational speaker. But yeah, like I said, the Lord is using these randoms to bring out this truth, man. And it's going to be known who the prophets are once it comes to pass. So once it comes to pass, people are not going to think of this guy. They're going to think of the brothers that was out on the highways and hedges, the prophets, who were pushing this thing week in and week out. But you got it.
This is Matthew 24 and 14. And the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
There you go. So the end is near, okay? Because the gospel since the 1960s have been being preached by the Hebrew Israelites. That's where the gospel, that's where the truth is coming out of. The so-called One West Hebrew Israelites, okay? And ever since then, you've had the prophecies moving, you know. But the majority of things that he was saying in this video was on point. You know, pretty much everything that he said was on point. He said that they're going to put it either in your forehead or in your hand. That's why Elon Musk, he has something called Neuralink. Okay, and he said you're going to be using it to buy and to sell. But see, what they don't tell you is that, like he said, it's going to be used for total control. But also, once you take that mark, it's going to make you a product. Okay, because you're going to have your own UPC, Universal Product Code, which every barcode has. So when you scan, like when you go buy something, you scan the barcode. But when you use the MOTB to buy something, you're gonna scan your wrist, which that's a barcode, you know, which is gonna make you a product of the state. So this is all leading to the enslavement and the selling of your soul spiritually, because you will not be able to receive salvation if you take that mark. And that's the one thing that this guy didn't say. You see, he focused on control, which, yeah, it's going to be control and all of that. That's why they want to do it. But the ultimate reason why they want to do it is because you're disqualified from salvation. Okay? Because he's not going to say the whole matter. See, we're going to say the whole matter. You're going to be disqualified from salvation because America's going to be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles. He didn't bring that out. Okay? And that's why it's important not to take it, because there's going to come an end game to this system. It's not going to like you're going to take the mark, and if you don't take the mark, you're just going to be left out of America forever. No, America's going to be destroyed. So there's no reason to take the mark anyway, because shortly after you take it, you're going to be destroyed with the system. So let me read that first. This is Revelation 14, verse 9. It says, "And the third angel followed them with a loud voice, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb." So when the Lamb Yahushua appears, you're going to be in that fire and that brimstone, man, because you took the mark. And any man take the mark, the same is going to drink of the wine of the wrath of the Heavenly Father. Okay? So that's the one part he didn't mention. And that's really the most important part, because that's the greatest motivator to not take it.
Yeah, I noticed in the video how he said this is in the Bible, but he didn't word it as if the Bible said don't do this. Right. He just said that it's in the Bible. Right. But he didn't, like you said, he didn't give the full description of what it's really going. Like, well, yeah, that you telling them about the C-hip, you telling them what they're gonna do with it, but how do we prevent? Who do we go to be saved from this? Well, like he just gave a pretty standard, some statement basically.
Right, and that comes from being a part of this world. See, we're not a part of this world, so we don't have to pull punches. We don't have to keep our sword back from blood. You know, we can. I'm gonna go to Acts. The Apostle Paul said, "We declare unto you all the counsel of the Heavenly Father," man. You know, Acts 20. Yeah, this is Acts 20 and 26. "Wherefore I take you to record this day that I am pure from the blood of all men. For I have not shunned to declare unto you all the counsel of the Most High." So that's it. We're not shunning to declare all the counsel of the Lord, man. You know, somebody asks us about the MOTB, we're going to go into what it is. We're going to go into why you shouldn't take it. We're going to go into how America's going to be destroyed, and, you know, the salvation that's going to come of it, and that anybody that takes it is not going to be able to partake in that salvation. You know, it says here in Revelation 13 and 16, "And he causeth all, both small and great." This is what he was talking about when he said it's right there in the Bible in Revelation. "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." And the word mark in the Greek is charagma, which means a physical mark. Okay, an imprinted mark, which the word imprint means, it goes back to implant, an implanted mark. The word The Hebrew equivalent to karagma would be the Hebrew word kwai, okay, which means an incision, okay, a cutting into the flesh. It says, and so that's what John the Revelator saw on the island of Patmos, because he didn't mention that this was a vision from John the Revelator on the island of Patmos. And these are a vision of things that he saw that would take place in the future. It says, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And that number of his name, like I said, goes back to the Universal Product Code, which every Universal Product Code has 3 6s in it. And it said no man might buy or sell, because this is going to be the new form of money, like he said. But they're going to push it in other ways too, different miracles, like I mentioned, Elon Musk, the Neuralink, it could bring sight to the blind, it could make a paraplegic walk, it could, a nigga with a robotic arm, he could control the robotic arm with the micro C hip. And that's the miracles. What was that? Revelation. Let's see. Revelation. I think it's 19. Bear with me. This is Revelation chapter 19, verse 20. It says, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that have received the mark of the beast. So it's with the miracles that he's going to deceive those that receive the mark of the beast, man. The different miracles of even the fact that, like he said, nobody be able to steal your cash, nobody will be able to kidnap you and we not know where you are. These are all going into his miracles of how this is miraculous technology, this will save lives and this and that, like I said, he's restoring sight to the blind and all of these false miracles. And by false I mean he's using left hand energy, he's using demonic energy to do it. That's how he's going to deceive people.
Yeah, the scriptures talk about his strange devices, which the word device really go into his mindset and his plans and things, because we not falling susceptible to him because we see him. We already see how he's planning to move the C-hip, where he's coming with it. They just said they found a way to cure Down syndrome. Basically, they know how to go into the baby, remove the gene that they give it to. They're gonna come with if you just take the C-hip, we can do it naturally while the baby's sitting inside of you. They're gonna have plenty of plans that sound good. Oh, your leg withered away, we could give you a new bionic leg. It's gonna sound good to somebody who has no hope, no faith, and all is lost. But to those that know what's to come, we know you're gonna get your leg fixed for 30 minutes and sit in a fucking melting pot. That don't seem worth it.
Right. You see, it says in Revelation, I'm gonna read it again, Revelation 19 and 20 again. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him. The false prophet is the Roman Catholic Church. It says that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that have received the mark of the beast. So it's with the miracles that he's going to deceive those that take the chip. And them that worshipped his image, which is the philosophies of his system, they go along with the philosophies of the system, which is how they're really going to push the micro C-hip. They're going to justify it with their various philosophies of equality and the advancement of technology and artificial intelligence and even feminism and all of these things. He's gonna intertwine the MOTB with those philosophies. It says, in them that worship his image, these both were cast alive into the lake of fire burning with brimstone, man. So there you have it once again. Taking that mark disqualifies you from salvation. And like I said, he did good for a rookie, for an amateur, but there's key points that he left out concerning that mark. And, he better watch his back, man, because he just spilled the beans, like the Apostle Gabar said. He just spilled the beans on some very pertinent information that the elites don't take lightly, man. So if I was him, I would go into hiding, for a while, because his life could very well be in jeopardy. But see, that's why you need Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai on your side, man, because our lives, we endanger our lives every week by going out there, but the Lord protects us. You know, we're not some regular degular celebrity, you know, who halfway sold their soul, you know, and we gotta adhere to our handlers and all this shit. No, man, we not them, you know. We have a different elk, you know. So just a quick hit, like I said, responding to that video by that guy. I'll put his exact name in the title. I can't think of it right now. I know it's Noel something. But Lord will edifying. We're gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone. Kwam Yasharala. Shalom.